So, like I was saying from last video, I feel like people have developed an ego that, I've seen in both men and women, yet I've seen women get critiqued about this more. Rather, you heard me critique about it because I've been on the receiving end of this, where like I would be told or hear something like, I want a man who makes at least 300K a year, is 6 feet tall minimum, has an 8-pack, owns a nice car and house fully paid off, zero debt, goes to therapy or has been to therapy, has a trimmed beard, they go to church every Sunday as well, and they have infinite time for me. Also, they're liberal. It's like, all right, sheesh, okay. Those are your standards. So what do you bring to the table though? You want all that, but what do you have? What about what you provide? Don't just say affection or support and encouragement. Yo, self-awareness issue here. This does not imply you bring peace and comfort to their life. That's the thing. You can want a man that has all those attributes or a little less. You'll settle with it, right? But all you bring is a headache. All you do is spend my money. I could get support from the homies, by the way. I could get support and encouragement from the homies, but here, see, this goes with this too. But if we do that or hang out with the homies more than we hang out with you because it's more peaceful to our lives, suddenly you start calling us gay. Suddenly we're gay all of a sudden. All right. Suddenly we don't love you. All right. See, this is what aggravates me. I think having a good woman by your side tends to be beneficial, especially if she knows how to use her intuition. I do believe women are more emotionally intelligent than men from a biological and mostly psychological standpoint. This doesn't imply that it's used properly all the time, though. However, when it is used properly, like a good example is being nurtured. Whoever is nurturing you, this woman, will give you the best advice and will have that insight to point out fake friends, warn you about situations where your emotional range does not compute or recognize. Like, I'm not the most emotionally supportive individual, but the amount of times a woman who I was close with at that time period, or even like now, gave me a more emotionally intelligent perspective about a situation I was in when I was dealing with people or, I was going through a rough time. She gave me that insight. It has helped me drastically. And that advice I wouldn't get from a homie. I wouldn't get from another guy unless they were also emotionally intelligent as well. But like, you know what I'm saying? This doesn't imply that having someone like this equates to all the standards that I was mentioning before. Just because you provide that doesn't mean that you get to have all the standards outside. And this is a universal thing too, because men also have this issue. I just seem to be picking on women here because I have experienced things from the dating world and being in relationships with women. But like, men also do it too. They want a shorty who is nearly a 10 out of 10. You want a girl who's like a 10 out of 10, but you'll settle for you won't settle for anything less than a 7. You want a low body count. You want a very submissive woman, right? You want domesticated goddesses in terms of all her skill sets in life have to be cooking, cleaning, and just being a homemaker. You know what I'm saying? You want no baggage from past relationships or having children. You want drama-free and a sexually adventurous woman, or you want someone who's pure, right? And now, I have to be honest with you, all those qualities I just listed about what you may want in a woman, many of you may feel like something like, hey, Aku, what's wrong with those standards? Sounds normal to me, almost traditionally satisfactory. I think you're correct. I don't disagree with you. I don't. I think if you feel is that what you want in a woman? I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't disagree. But maybe this is where the delusion comes in, though. Because I'm talking about a self-awareness issue here. All those things I listed, you won't get that if you don't fit her standards. How is she going to be a domesticated goddess if you're broke? If you don't make money like that, how is she going to be home cooking and cleaning and being a housewife? How is she going to have all those traditional attributes? How is she supposed to even who's going to pay for the groceries? The mortgage, the rent. You don't make money like that. You broke, bro. And here's another example. Another example is the submissive demeanor. Y'all want a woman who is super feminine and submissive, right? Yet you're anything but masculine. Or you're masculine, but you're toxic masculine. You know what I'm saying? And being toxic about your masculinity is not the same as true masculinity, which people often don't understand the difference. You want a 7 out of 10 minimum, right? Or somebody with a gym body or an hourglass body, right? You want that body frame out of a woman, but you looking dusty. You don't put any time in the gym. You don't even relate to that lifestyle of going to the gym or working out. So if this is part of her lifestyle, because that's how you want her to look, because how you think she got that? She was working out, she was getting slim, she was eating right, she was doing all that stuff, right? You think you can relate to that when you don't do any of that stuff? That's her lifestyle. That's how she looks like that. But you don't do any of that. But you want that? So you think you two are compatible, even though you two live two completely different lifestyles in terms of what you guys work on, how you guys treat your body, what you guys eat and everything? Like, see, this is what I'm talking. This is where the delusion comes in, because y'all don't think about that stuff. You just want this. So, and this flips with the roles here too. What do you bring to the table as a guy at this point? You want a one with all these qualities. You can't keep up with it or match it. And see, this one's hilarious too. I mentioned something. I didn't even get to that point. I did mention it earlier though. I said, you want a girl that is quote pure, right? You want I want a woman who, she doesn't really have like a high body count. I want a pure girl, right? Okay, you want a girl that's quote pure, but you're a porn addict. Huh? Are you guys are on the same page here? You guys are compatible? You want to date someone who's pure, but you're a porn addict? What? But again, I've seen females do the same to men. Y'all want men with all these qualities I mentioned at the beginning of the video. You don't even match it yourself. You want a guy with the 8-pack. Look at you. Look at you. Then you wonder why you can't get it. You two aren't compatible realistically. You two live different lives. That's why they look like that. That's why their life is like that. But you want it so bad. The problem is the entitlement from both men and women. Like the title of this video, unless I change it by the time I'm done recording this, the title of this video should say, so you just don't need to do anything, right? That's what the title of the video should be. I think I'm probably going to change it. Literally, that's the problem though. That's the entitlement. So you want all of this, but you don't need to do anything, right? You should get this high quality of man. You should get the highest quality of something, but you do no work for it or don't have to do anything to put it together. You want this, but it's completely different from how you live and what your life is like. All right, you know what I'm saying? What entitles you to that? What entitles you to that? This is what I meant last video. You look at stuff too much online in this macho man crap, or you just watch too much porn, or look at too many things online that attract you, which is all fake, filtered, and impractical, and you lose your sense of realism. You're not grounded anymore. You're disconnected from the real world. Yet, this is the irony behind this, because people will say that I'm being disconnected, right? You think I'm disconnected while you're spending all this time on the internet looking at stuff. You think that the things that you see or hear or certain communities on the internet are the real world. You say they spit in facts, right? So this whole video you might disagree with, because everything you're so attached to what everyone is saying online, or stereotypes that you read online and this and that, you completely forgot the part where you actually have to improve your own life. Your life tends to be a reflection of what's going on internally. But people don't want to have that conversation, because everyone else is a problem here but them. Women are a problem. Men are a problem. This person is a problem. That person is a problem. What about the problems you keep putting into your head because you're overthinking, or your perspective on something is literally the same exact thing that's limiting you? It's called entitlement, bro. That's what all this stuff does. It creates entitlement. I deserve this, even though their lifestyle is different from mine. I deserve this, but clearly it's not compatible. I'm just attracted to it. I just feel like I deserve it. I'm a good guy, but I don't do any work. Okay, so this is what you want life to be? You do no work and you get things without having to put in the work? All right. You deserve high standards. They don't deserve it. And they deserve high standards you don't deserve. I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. This episode is found on Spotify and YouTube. I'm out.